In this module, we will see how to work efficiently with the deep passes. We will prepare the shots and the projects. Then we will start assembling the elements using deep layers to create perfect holdouts and seamless compositing. In this clip, we are going to import our deep image sequences and run a quick check to make sure the deep datas are correct. Alright, I always like to start a shot by setting its project settings. So let's go to the Edit menu, then Project Settings. And the two things I'd like to set here are the frame range, 1 to 50, and the size format. We are going to use a half HD format. It's probably not on your list, so let's create it. Click on New, let's name it half HD, and here the size will be 1920 divided by 2 and 1080 divided by 2. I picked this format because deep files are really heavy and I wanted to make sure that everyone on any computer can follow this course. Okay, so leave the pixel aspect to 1 and click on OK. Great, let's close the project settings now. Now let's import our first deep sequence. Let's create a deep read node for that. So let's go to the deep menu and here deep read. This node is acting like any other read node and it allows us right away to go and grab the file you want to read. So let's go to the course material folder. This folder is coming with this course. If you want to do the shot with me, you can download the course material online on the course's main page. So let's go inside the CG folder, then plane_deep, and select the plane image sequence and open it. Let's now connect our viewer to our deep node and cache it to make sure everything is working fine. Great. Now, when I'm working with deep, I always want to make sure the datas are actually correct, that we have our spatial info at the correct location. And for checking that, I like to use a deep to points to visualize my deep image in the 3D viewer. Let's grab that node. Here in the deep menu, deep to points. Let's connect it to my deep read and visualize it. So make sure we are on a frame we actually see the plane pretty well. For example, 38. And hit F to frame your viewer on your object. And as you can see, our plane is here. So we have deep info working. That's the first good check. But we need to make sure it's located on the proper position. For checking that, let's import the shot cam. When working with deep, I will highly recommend to always export a camera from your CG software. That way you can work with it in Nuke. Okay, so let's create a camera by hitting tabulation key and looking for camera. And then under the File tab, check Read from File, navigate to the course material folder under Camera and import the shotcam.fbx. Of course, accept the destroy and replace the current datas, and now we have our camera. Let's look through it via this drop-down menu, and let's compare this framing with the 2D image here. And there we go, it looks all good. Actually, you may think it looks a bit different, but take in consideration that we rendered the motion blur directly in Maya here, and the deep to points is displaying the unpremultiply blurred pixels. This is why we have the feeling that the plane is larger in the point cloud representation. Perfect! Let's import the clouds now. Let's create another deep read node. And inside the course material, let's go into the CG folder and I'll grab the clouds. Now, for some reasons I'll explain in the next clip, the render is split for the clouds. So for now, let's grab just the second part, frame 9 to 50. Let's create another deep to points to make sure the file is correct as well. And yep, our clouds are here. and I can see that my plane is in the middle of our clouds. Okay, both of my deep files are good. Now, I will spend the next couple clips to prepare them properly to optimize my workflow. I will insist quite a lot about that during this course, because deep compositing could be really frustrating if you are doing it wrong, because you are dealing with huge size files and some quite resourceful operations. So let's meet in the next clip to talk about deep reformat and deep write to optimize our workflow.